Oh, taking me in a circle. Good morning, everybody. Mike from FisherMN here. Grand Rapids trip. Last full day in Grand Rapids. It is a swampy feeling, warm day. Been kind of waiting for one of these days. Saw that it was going to be pretty nice today, so I thought, you know what? The last time out on Favorite Lake, it was tough. Great to be back on Favorite Lake. So this is the first year probably since I started fishing Favorite Lake where the water is kind of up. So maybe I just need to adjust to that. I've always been able to get them just right off the edge. There we go. Fish on. All right. First bass. Ooh, a little scarred there. Nice. Future 20-incher. As I was saying, he was right where he was supposed to be. I think any fish that comes to my boat is going to be right where they're supposed to be today. All right, first little bit here. Got a fish in the boat. Always the first goal of a trip. Let's go hit that other shore. There we go. Nice long northern, a little skinny, big head on it. He is skinny and long. I'd like to see him in the fall. There we go. Fish on. There we go. So much fun because the northerns in this lake are pretty chunky. There we go. What do we got? There's the bass. All right. Well, the bass are all scarred up on this lake. All right, there's some fish working in here. Good fish. Chunky. Started kind of thrown out this way because I saw fish surface out here. And I thought, well, maybe they're out here. Definitely most. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, if it's a bass, it's a big one. That's more like what we're looking for. Whew, barely had him hooked. All right. That's a good Favorite Lake bass. It seems like where we're finding the greener weeds is kind of where the action's been. All right, a good stop. Kind of concentrating on things uptight. Started throwing out here, getting some fish. Learning as we go today. Let's go get some more. All right, back at it. Our jackhammer got all, I guess you could say, jacked up. So put on an Evo Elite chatterbait. Pretty much the same color profile. It's actually called electric shad, and we got an electric shad power stinger off the back. And we got a fish on the first cast. Well, there we go. There we go. All right, little chunker. Kind of popped out here where the clumpy weeds dropped off. The weeds are a little more scattered. There we go. Hey, what are you doing back here? All right. Frenzy Island. We went around it, we went in it. Jig, bladed jig, frog, nothing. All right, we keep searching. Back at it. Had to take a little cooling off break, some water. Put the ice on my head a little bit. It's a hot one today. Haven't had many of these this summer. Weather's actually been very comfortable. You know, when the fishing's slow, come to an area you know a little bit. And this shore was the shore when I first started fishing this lake. Of course, frog all the time. My biggest bass ever that I weighed came from here, 5 pounds, 7 ounces. It was right in this area, actually. Lake just feels different this year. I had one super good trip early in the year. Now a couple of clunkers. Although the jury's still out. I still got an hour or two to fish here. Oh, he's on. Oh, looked like a good one. Oh, that's northern. Oh my goodness. Looked like a big bass. Oh. Taking me in a circle. There we go. Nice fish right by the reeds here. Came all the way out of the water. It looked like it was a foot away from my bait, but we got it. It's kind of a favorite old spot to just throw the frog right up against the reeds. There's usually something around. Today was no different. Wow. That fish, I was gonna net him and he pulled me all the way around to the other side. Favorite Lake always has a surprise in store. All right, off to the other side for one more shore. Made it across the lake. Got our last hopeful spot here. I'll go ahead and say it's slow day, even on Favorite Lake. I'm still optimistic. Got a nice shore to go down. Either way, I love being out. We'll see how this day shapes up, but if you had all good days, you wouldn't appreciate the good days that you have. So, happy to be out. There we go. Oh. Another northern. I've said it a lot in my videos. Northerns are almost always biting in Minnesota. So it's always something you can target or even not target and catch. There we go. Fish on. another northern. Oh. There it is. Thinking it's a northern. But no. Had to get our favorite lake walleye. Alright, favorite lake walleye. Another favorite lake walleye. It's just hard to explain. Every trip it seems like. Even when the fishing is slow, get a walleye. Last 3 fish, a bass, a northern, and a walleye. Got a chance to talk to a very nice guy on the lake here, and he kind of flagged me over and he's like, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt your fishing, but you know what? I fish the inlet to his place all the time, and it's the least I could do because that inlet has provided a lot of bass. He was just wondering about my Hobie and thinking about getting one himself, so I'm always happy to share information that I have. What do we got? Fish on. All right. It's another bass. Another chunky guy. Future 20-incher. It's kind of funny. Any other lake could be like, oh, that's a pretty good day. You know, we got some chunky bass, a couple of nice northerns, got a walleye. Favorite lake? Always looking for that big day. But happy with what I'm getting today. All right, I am wrapping up here. I believe I got out to the lake about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, put a good 7-hour session in. Kind of went all the way around. Came this way first. Got a frog bass. That shore over there. Had a little frenzy down on the corner. Nothing. Panfish. Nothing. One little northern at Frenzy Island. One big northern in the weeds back there. And then cut across and had a decent shore with a few bass and a northern. Not the usual day on favorite lake. I'm usually able to catch some fish at every lake, but sometimes it's slow, even in Grand Rapids. I know that's hard to believe, as most of my videos are pretty productive in Grand Rapids, but you know what, it makes us appreciate those really good days, and I've had a lot of them here on favorite lake. I'm gonna make a few more casts on the way in. If I catch something, you'll see it. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.